Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk real estate. That's right, buying or selling homes, investments, whatever you need. We got the man of the hour here. It's Andrey Bustamante, the Andrey Bustamante Real Estate Show, brought to you by GuaranteedSale.com. Free home evaluations in under 30 seconds. And as Tim was pointing out before the show, this is a perfect show for you to say, cutting-edge real estate marketing, cutting-edge real estate firm, cutting-edge technology in you asking your questions. So let's make this the hallmark. Let's make this the flagship of open mic questions. You guys are out there, you're modern, you're techie, and even if you're not, it takes no skill whatsoever to download the News 96.5 app. Just go to the Play Store and download that. It doesn't cost you anything. And when you have the app, just look on the front page. There is a box that says open mic. Press it and just say, Andre, I'm trying to sell my house. I've been asking $180 for it. Now the realtor wants to cut the price to $140. We've been cutting the price since it was $300. What is going on with my house? A question like that, then you put the phone down. You go about your Sunday business, and you don't have to hold that phone up to your ear. So you come to a stoplight. You hit the app. You give that question. The green light comes. You set the phone down. Leave it alone. Keep the radio on. You'll hear your voice, and you'll hear Andre's answer. It is so cool. If follow-up's needed, call him this week at the office. Okay, and that office number, by the way, is 888-785-0440. That's 888-785-0440. AndreyBustamante.com. I tell you what, this guy is setting cutting edge into the new century. And now all of a sudden, I was telling Andre in a pre-meeting here, pre-show meeting, that, hey, Andre, it's kind of funny that you talk about these innovations that Bustamante Real Estate's using. Sean Hannity talks about them. And all of a sudden, other companies are starting to go, well, we've got an airplane too. We've got a drone. We've got helicopters. Ooh, look at us.
Yeah.
They're not doing it right.
Good Sunday, everybody. It's glad to be back here live on the show. Rob, thank you for that awesome intro.
Bud.
Awesome to always be here with you every Sunday. Tim, thank you for everything. Tim's our producer. He's the one that plugs everything back there, presses all the cool buttons, and takes us in and out. We're definitely seeing a lot of competitors, using drones and buying different things and different equipment to try to keep up with technology. But at the end of the day, Rob, just because someone has the same tool doesn't make you the same. I think we've been the pioneers, at least in the Central Florida market, when it comes to drones, video, using actors in movies. We have a new movie that we'll talk about later on during the show. But we're just using things on a whole nother level, and we're excited because last month Fox News did a segment on us. And I just got news this Friday that it's actually going to be airing across the entire country. It's getting picked up by all the Fox affiliates because of our use of technology, and not only drones, because that seems to be the hot topic, but it's drones and then using technology and different things, video, actors in video to showcase the lifestyle of a home and ultimately sell properties to international buyers. Because our goal is to showcase properties to the world, not just to your neighbor using it for sale.
I really like that. You can show a car. I mean, this is age-old marketing. You can show a car sitting in a showroom. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's really nice. What are your best car companies doing? They're showing that car either on a test track, or they're showing the kids jumping in the car and, having their ice cream, and they're off to something. It's subliminal advertising. Notice when you see an ad, what's in the background? You see a car in a driveway. You see a nice new Toyota.
Yeah.
What's in the background? That's not a dilapidated $100,000 shack. It's usually a $200,000 to $300,000 home. Start watching this. Andrey Bustamante markets your home the way the national advertising agencies market everything from cars to apartments to lifestyles to cruises. They don't just show you a ship sitting at a dock. They show you the people having fun. The house is about living in it.
Yeah. It's the lifestyle. It's no longer a matter of selling the square footage, how big it is, or even the location. It's ultimately about the lifestyle. So if you have a property in Isleworth, what's the difference of lifestyle versus living in Keens Point versus living in Lake Nona and Lake Mary? Do you have amenities? Don't you have amenities? We're putting all those things. Do you have great schools in the area? Perhaps you don't. So we're using all the great things a property has going for itself. Maybe you have your own private lake in the backyard. Whatever it is, we're using it to your advantage. So when it comes to technology, we're excited with what we're doing, and this is really just the beginning. And we realize that probably 3, 5, 10 years from now, the business is going to be completely different. There's going to be a lot more technological advances, and we're just trying to stay ahead of everybody. That's all we're trying to do. And luckily, we're teamed up with great people that coach us, that help us to stay ahead of the market. And ultimately, you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with. So in business, we hang around with with the best of the best in the entire country.
You made a great analogy before you went on the air. I was saying that other companies are starting to tell me, even just talking to them on the street, hey, we got a drone too. We're starting to do photography from the air and show the proximity of the swimming pool and show the proximity of the neighbors and doing a high fly where you show everything. And you, what was it you said to me?
Well, it's kind of like, let's just talk basketball, right? So just because you have LeBron James sneakers doesn't mean you could jump as high as he can. Doesn't make you LeBron James. So just because you're using the same technology doesn't mean it's going to have the same effect. Let's bring it back to real estate. I've had people say, well, you're a realtor, they're a realtor, you're going to put in the MLS, they're going to put in the MLS. What's the difference? I'm like, wow. You got 30 minutes. I can explain and I can show you the difference. Just because someone else has access to the MLS doesn't make them the same agent. Just because the same surgeon or just because another surgeon has the same tools doesn't make them the absolute best heart surgeon in the country.
It really does. Because it takes more than just the flyby. It takes more than just a website. You got to put the whole package together. And, you hear Hannity talking about our friend here, Mr. Bustamante. And you also, over the past 2 to 3 years, I've lost track. We've done so many shows together. But you kind of hear that it's an entire package of taking that home and marketing it. And even taking you from the very first meeting and saying, okay, here's the things you need to do to your home if you really want to sell it. If you're going to compete with the big boys out there, if you're going to compete with and you know their names, I'm not going to give them free advertising. They want that, they can buy a show of their own. But if you want to compete with those guys that you keep hearing about, with all the neighborhoods around Florida and all the planned communities, all right, well, if you're going to compete with them by selling your home and maybe moving to one of those, and Andre can help you do that, if you love that planned community up by Mount Dora or wherever, or you love a new planned community over in Melbourne, he can represent you in that purchase, and you're going to do better for it. But you got to sell your house first.
Yeah, and ultimately, what we're having is consultation. So this week was actually an interesting week. So we actually spoke with more people this week that we did not actually meet with because we were not a good fit for each other. So one of the things that we do differently versus other agents is rather than go to your home and spend 2 to 3 hours there completely wasting your time, because folks, let's be real. We've all bought and sold real estate, right? Whenever you're looking to sell your house, the traditional way of doing things back in the day was, well, let's call 3 agents. Let's bring them into our home, and let's see what they have to say. Things have changed, folks. When you're looking to hire an attorney, do you have the attorney come to your house? Or do you go to their offices and see what their work environment is like and see where they're located and what they do? When you're looking to hire a heart surgeon, aren't you curious what their place of work looks like? Aren't you curious where they're going to operate you in? What that place looks like? When you hire a CPA, I'm not going to hire a CPA and have them come to my house. I want to go see what their place of business looks like, because based on that, I'm gonna realize, like, well, this is the guy I want to hire or not. Same thing with us. So this week we actually had a lot of conversations with people, and they're used to doing things a more traditional way. And ultimately, we were not a good fit because we're having those hard conversations, those difficult, fierce conversations up front rather than later on in the process. So we invite everybody to come down, meet us in the office. And we got several offices we can meet you, Maitland, South Orlando, and a few others that we can meet you in. But we want to have a professional consultation with you. We're not trying to sell you anything. We're just simply trying to sit down and see if we're a good fit for each other, see what your objective is, see what your goal is, see if you're even motivated to sell.
All right, very good. We are going to be taking a break. When we come back, what about, Andre said just, picking three names out of a hat. What about those of you that are so inclined to say, well, my sister-in-law Judy sells real estate. Let's just give her a buzz and see what's going on with her.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk about that and more. If you have a question for Andre, go ahead and use that open mic feature at News 96.5, the app, or you could always call us at 855-297-9696, 855-297-9696, or text us at 21232. That's 21232. So there's three big ways you can get a hold of Andrey Bustamante. Now, here's three big things you need to know. What a great bump music Tim has brought to the show today. Way to go, Bud. He is our producer of the show. I'm Rob Newton, and Andrey Bustamante is here from Andrey Bustamante Real Estate. And the Andrey Bustamante Real Estate Show is brought to you by GuaranteedSale.com. Free home evaluations in under 30 seconds. If you want to chime in on the show, there's several ways to do it. There are a big three. There's 855-297-9696. There is the texting feature at 21232. And how do you do that? Well, on your phone, on your smartphone, where you just send somebody a message off and on, and don't do what I did last week and send the wrong message to the wrong person. That's not good. That's just not good. Anyway, what you want to do is go to just up there where it says contact, where you'd put somebody's name or their telephone number, just put the digits, 21232, 21232.
That's easy.
And then down in the body, do that. Now, on the open mic feature, you've only got like 10 seconds. But that's enough time to say, Andre, I'm trying to sell my $250,000 house. No luck. And then he'll go into it. But if you want to use that new News 96.5 open mic, download it onto your smartphone. Real easy to do on the Play Store. Or if you're an Apple user, you've got your own store there too. It's cost you nothing. Once it's in your phone, it can help you get to work, help you get weather updates. It'll help you get everything. And you can use the open mic button, push it, push the record button, ask your question. You got it made. So before the break, I wanted to ask Andre, what happens to the people, and it happens every day. Mm-hmm. Somebody says, oh, yeah, I work with a guy and his wife dabbles in real estate. Let's just use Marge. Right?
Always happens. Matter of fact, this week I actually had a client. Seems like we're always connected, Rob, right? Mm-hmm. So we had a client in our office, and they previously had a home on the market with a friend of theirs. Unfortunately, things went sour. Actually, let me rephrase that. They didn't actually put the home on the market because, this is kind of interesting, right? Because they did not hire that agent to sell their home, the relationship went sour. So I think the reality is a relationship that goes sour because you're not that person is not using you as their real estate agent and your friends, is probably not a good relationship to begin with.
I guess not.
Because if I have friends and they don't use me as a real estate agent, I'm okay. It's fine. It's their personal choice, and they don't want to put our relationship at risk. I've had tons of friends that have told me, hey, Andre, I'd love to come and work with you or work for you. I end up telling them, hey, guys, we end up doing like a consultation and like a career consultation to see where they want to take their life. And once we're done with that, 9 times out of 10, I always steer them in a different direction, which is obviously in their best interest. Seldom do we ever even hire a friend just because you don't want to mix that relationship, and especially not when it's your realtor, because those relationships end up being very, very hard. And if they don't sell your home, then things turn sour, and then you have to see them every weekend or family festivities or whatever. Really quick here. Short segment, but I want to talk about the real estate market and what it's doing differently here. I think we just got an open mic. We'll get to it in a second.
Yeah, hey, cool.
So sales have increased by 6%. In June, there was 2,000 817 home sales, which that's actually a great number. Normally, we're in the 2,200, 2,300 sales, but 2,800 sales, that's awesome. Average price right now of an Orlando home is $165,000, and we're sitting currently on 4.09 months supply of inventory. Still considered a seller's market. Anything under 6 months is still a seller's market. We have seen the market overall stabilize a lot more, and I'll explain what that means in a second. Average days on the market for a property before it went under contract is 71 days, and the average list price, final list price to sales price ratio is 96.98%, almost 97%, and that's the final. So on average, normally the average is about 90%. Whatever you listed at, normally a property will sell for about 90%. That's the average. Our team averages are right around 99%. So the market has stabilized. We're not seeing the investors that were buying and flocking into all the neighborhoods and buying everything under 250, sight unseen. We're not seeing that right now. But the benefit is that there is more inventory, and that crazy boom that we had last year and the year before was kind of concerning, because if a market is moving so quickly and you're having so many investors buy these properties, eventually the market is going to explode, like the same thing that happened in 2005. So luckily, we're not in danger of any of that happening. The market is developing nicely. There are a lot of nice communities, lots of great prices. Builders are obviously competing very, very strongly right now. So it's a nice, healthy, stable market. We're not seeing properties fly off the market as quick as they were before. It's just nice. We're sitting on a good market right now where people are buying, but it's not what it was. It's not a crazy market, if you understand what I'm saying. It's just nice and healthy. If it stayed like this, it'd be perfect. I mean, look at June's numbers. We had 2,800 sales. And with more inventory, June of 2013, there was about 2 months supply of inventory. Now we're sitting on 4 months, which is getting a little healthier. It'd be nice to have it around 5 or 6. But what that means is that there's more inventory, more options for buyers. So it's overall a great market.
Very good. So the market is doing fine. Let's see. We've got 1 minute before we have to take our break. We've got Amy with an open mic. Amy, go ahead.
Trying to find short sales, but they seem to be gobbled up quickly. Is there a site I can go to find them?
Okay, Amy. So in terms of short sales, you really have to figure out why you want a short sale. Normally, Rob, the reason people want short sales is because they believe that they can get a better price with a short sale, or even a foreclosure, a better deal. You put a contract in today, and it's something that you'll close on at 6 months to a year down the line. The site we would recommend, the end-all be-all options, probably realtytrack.com. But in all honesty, if you went to my website, bestorlandomlssearch.com, we get the feed directly from the MLS. And if you want to search just like a real estate agent does, just go to bestorlandomlssearch.com, click short sales, click on the map, and you'll search just the way I do. So
all right, very good. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after news, traffic, and weather right here on News 96.5. It is the Andrey Bustamante Real Estate Show, brought to you by GuaranteedSale.com. And you'll get a free home evaluation in under 30 seconds with GuaranteedSale.com. You can call Andre during the week or right now. In fact, anytime during the weekend, they're taking your calls. They're working for you 7 days a week. 888-785-0440, 888-785-0440, AndreyBustamante.com. In this segment, we'll take your calls at 855-297-9696 or text us at 21232. Or you have an invitation. We want to make the hallmark of this show the open mic questions like you heard Amy ask before the break, and just simply go on the all-new News 96.5 app, ask Andre a question by hitting record. Got about 10 seconds, and then you can just go on about your business and just listen to the radio. A lot safer if you're driving and a lot more convenient if you're working around the house. Andre, I want to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
One is, Explain to the audience it's always changing, guaranteedsale.com. And then I want to talk about a couple of your other programs that you've got that really are innovative and others are starting to copy, but copying is the best form of flattery.
Absolutely.
And, guaranteed sale, all those things that you work on for them.
Cool. I appreciate that. So our guaranteed sale program, it's pretty easy. We get asked this all the time. I think that's the number one question. People call my office and my agents and ask, what's this whole guaranteed sale program? So I wish everybody would listen to this part here. It's a proven, repeatable system that sells your house for more money in less time. Rather than go out there and have a traditional agent list your property on the MLS and ultimately not sell it, you hire us. We have a proven system that will sell your house on average for 10 to 18% more money. And that 10 to 18% more money is in your pocket, not ours. And we get this by focusing and properly positioning your home on the market so that the maximum amount of buyers will see it, will appreciate it, and will want to buy it. There's a property, matter of fact, and we deal with all price points. So I was at a $4 million listing appointment a few days ago, and we got multiple $1 million houses on the market right now. But this one was interesting. It was a lower price range home. Mm-hmm. That house, we put it on the market, and we started getting immediate. And this was on, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. The following day, we got a full price offer. Within 2 days, we had already negotiated an offer that was 8 to 9% higher than the asking price. And this types of cases do happen. These situations do happen, but it's all a matter of how the property is positioned on the market. And between us, the property was already inflated by about 5 to 10,000. And here we are, we're getting an offer that's 8 to 9, maybe 10% higher than our current list price. So between all that, that's probably 17 to 18% total that the seller's going to be able to pocket. And simply put, because it was properly positioned in the market. So it's not just like, do the drone pictures. It was everything. It was the professional pictures. It was the fact that we previously had the home appraised. We previously had the home inspected, all that. So you go back, I'll stay on focus here, on point. Our guaranteed sale program, it's a program whereby if we don't sell your house, we're actually going to step in and buy it. We also have another program that's our Love It or Leave It program. So if within 24 months, say you buy a property from me today, and within 24 months, you're not completely satisfied, you want to go ahead and sell that property, we will sell that property for you for free, meaning no listing agent commission. The other program that we have is we have our builder trade-in program or trade-up program. What's cool about that, and I started this thing probably 2-3 years ago, and obviously it's been copied and replicated by other people, which is fine. But what it is if you buy a property through us, or if you're looking to sell a property through us, and you're interested in buying a new home, we will actually sell your pre-existing property for free, and we'll help you get into your new property. The builder's the one that pay us. So essentially, you're not having to put any money out of pocket. We're getting compensated. And, we do run this at different times and different promotions. It depends on the property, depends on the price point. But we do offer builder trade-up programs. So if you're interested in moving up and getting something else, or you're interested in getting something bigger, or you're interested in downsizing, like a lot of our clients here on the station are looking to do, we could certainly help you out. It doesn't have to be a super costly process. Matter of fact, if you're looking to buy a new property, we can actually make the process nice and smooth, get you into a new property. We'll come in, sell your property. And the difference there, because anybody can copy a program, and that's what has happened over the years. But folks, if you look at a company's success ratio, right, and you look at how they are properly positioning homes in the market and the success that they are having, I always tell people, don't hire me because I'm going to put your property in the MLS. You can hire 15,000 people to do that. Hire me because I'm going to market your property better, and I'm going to negotiate a better offer for you. That's it.
All right, very good. We do have a text from 7082. It says, next door house is in foreclosure. They're signing a deed in lieu of to the bank. Just give the house back. How do we let the bank know we may be interested in purchasing that home?
there's a couple ways to go about that. Simply go next door and knock on the neighbor's door and say, hey, listen, apologize, sorry to see you guys go. Is there anything we could help, whatever? And then say, hey, listen, we have a family member that's interested in buying the house. Do you guys happen to have the contact information or the bank's name to see if we can go ahead and contact the bank? We'd love to be able to choose our neighbors. Mm-hmm. That's one way to go about it. Another way to go about it is if you go to the county records, go to the county clerk's court. If they're doing a deed in lieu, probably means that they've been behind on their payments for a while, which means that the current mortgage company has probably started a legal process on them. So there's liens and all sorts of things. So you could just go to the clerk's office and pull up the records. Maybe you'll see a lien there from SunTrust or Wells Fargo or whatever, and contact SunTrust or whoever the bank is there and let them know that you're interested in buying it. Now, is this an easy process? No. Because when the homeowner does a deed in lieu, normally that property is going to go ahead and go through the process, and they're going to start clearing title and doing all that. And then about 6 months later, or maybe longer, they're going to go ahead and assign it to a real estate agent. It's going to become an REO, so real estate owned or bank owned foreclosure. At which point in time you would be it's open game to anybody. Anybody can come in and offer. But if you don't want to lose any time, just go take this advice. See if you can contact the bank directly and see what they tell you. It's going to be tough. It's not like someone's going to pick up and say, oh, yeah, perfect. Go ahead and send me a purchase contract. No, it's a little harder, but it doesn't hurt to knock on someone's door.
We've had a couple of programs aired over the past several years that have talked about taking charge during a foreclosure.
Yeah.
Instead of letting the bank boss you around, and also running into the problems of you're not going to be able to get a mortgage for several years after a foreclosure. And if the bank hems and haws and sits on your house for 2 or 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you're unable to do anything until the clock starts. Well, the clock doesn't start until the bank actually takes possession of the house. So those of you that think you're just beating the game by living in the house 2 or 3 years, you're actually costing yourself money. Why not take in charge of the deal, call Andrey, let him list your house, and get it sold before you're looking at a deed in lieu? Am I on the right track here?
Yeah.
Just get it off your hands. Even if it's a short sale, you're going to get something and get out of there. Then you can move on with the rest of your life.
If you're the homeowner sitting on that deed in lieu position, you really need someone to represent you.
He should have sold it before he went deed in lieu, right?
Yeah, because a deed in lieu it's not as bad as a foreclosure, but it's a mini foreclosure. You ultimately want to do a short sale. Regular sale, of course, short sale secondly, deed in lieu, and then foreclosure, and then bankruptcy is obviously the absolute worst. Let me talk to you guys about 5 mistakes first-time buyers are making right now.
Yes.
When they are going through the process. I think it's timely with what we're talking about here. Mm-hmm. They're unprepared to go up against all cash offers. One of the things I always tell buyers, and when we meet with them, is we can put them in a position that their offer is actually competing with cash offers, even if they are not a cash offer. We have what we call, I guess, I heard a show earlier today, and it was mentioned as ninja tricks. And I seldom use that word, but we have tactics that we use that very few other real estate agents use, that we can position your home to compete against all cash offers, especially in this market. We are seeing a big significant amount of cash offers still. Another thing is they place a car ahead of the home. Now, when my wife and I were looking for a house, I said, babe, whatever we do, we are not buying a car before we buy our home. We're going to buy our home first, sit on it for a while, start building equity, then we'll buy a car and go about it that way. But there are people that will actually do things a little bit backwards. They start buying the furniture, they start buying the cars, and then they go and look to buy the house. Unfortunately, it affects their debt-to-income ratio. So when they show up to the bank or they apply online, they realize they can no longer buy that home because most people have more of a fixed income. They place too much emphasis on online loan information. We've personally had this happen to our clients where they've said, well, we're interested in buying this home here in this community. Perfect. Here's a contract. Great. And we're taking your recommendation. We're going to go with a local direct lender. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, we find out that they're using a lender out of Oklahoma or Kentucky, these online lenders. Whatever you do, folks, do not use an out-of-state lender, period. And then 4, they rely too much on online home values. So they'll say something like, well, Zillow has this home on the market for $200 and they want $225. I'm not paying a single penny over $200. Folks, don't pay attention to the Zillow values or any of those values. They're simply a tool to go by, but they're not. It's not the end-all, be-all solution, and they forego the home inspection. I see this happening a lot with cash purchases. They're completely foregoing the home inspection. That's the worst thing you could do. If I'm selling my house, I'm personally doing a home inspection. If anything I'm buying, we're doing an inspection and appraisal because we really do want another set of eyes on there. And if there's something wrong with the property that we can't see with our own 2 eyes, we want to be able to get out of that contract.
All right, very good. If you have questions, let's go ahead and jump on the telephone right now at 855-297-9696. That's 855-297-9696. You could text Andrey Bustamante at 21232, or use the all-new open mic feature on your News 96.5 app on your smartphone. We will be back after 3 big things you need to know. All right, very quickly, let's get back to the show. During the week, Andrey Bustamante, or anytime at the office, 888-785-0440, 888-785-0440, Andrey with a Y, Bustamante.com. You hear Sean Hannity talk about him all the time. Robert, we got to make it quick. We've only got 4 minutes to spend together, so make it fast.
Okay, I entered into a contract on, Friday evening at about 7 o'clock. I'm the seller. The buyer's agent wrote an additional term in the contract stating, home must be approved at or above selling price, or the seller agrees to renegotiate selling price. In other words, I got to thinking after the fact, am I locked in to selling my home at the appraisal of the bank?
That clause you said, or otherwise seller will contribute, or
will renegotiate.
Okay, the renegotiate is an open term, and I'm not an attorney. I'm a real estate expert. That's a standard term. Even the buyer's financing.
Yes. As a matter of fact, they're putting down one hell of a heavy down payment on it, not 3/4 of the price they're putting down, and they're just financing like $70,000.
Okay, what purchase price are we talking about?
It's going for $215,000.
Okay. Well, I would recommend, as a seller, you can request that the buyer use a local direct lender. That's going to highly impact your appraisal. Now, let me tell you, if they're using an out-of-town lender that doesn't understand our current market conditions as being stable and even appreciating it month to month in some areas, they may come down and give you a lowball appraisal. So one, as a seller, you have all the right to request that the buyer use a local lender, whether that be FBC Mortgage, Integrity Home Loans, RP Funding, whoever you're comfortable with. All those guys are good. Now,
okay. My question is am I locked in now? I've signed this.
You're not locked in. All you're saying is, if the appraisal comes in lower than, say, the appraisal comes in lower than 215, say 200. What you signed is that you'd be open to negotiate. But open to negotiate, you guys may not have a meeting of the minds in that negotiation, so you don't have to sell it to them if you guys can't come to an agreement at that point in time. That's a standard agreement, even if they didn't write that in. Normally, every financed offer has an appraisal contingency, which basically says if the home doesn't appraise, then we're gonna go ahead and have a discussion at that point in time to see what happens. So I wouldn't even be concerned about that if I were you.
Oh. Just relieve my mind.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Boy, that way.
I love your show. I listen to you every Sunday.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You should have used us to sell your home, though.
Once again, if you
I'll tell you, I tried. I just couldn't get through. I tried it. Matter of fact, I kept waiting. I finally got a text from your show, from your office, but.
Go ahead and hang tight. Give Scott, give Tim, my producer, your name and number. I'd love to follow up with you afterwards to see what happened there.
Yeah, very good. Because if you ever have a transaction, you hesitate for a moment, get a hold of Andrey personally. Say it's something you heard on the show and you want to contact him personally, right?
Yep, absolutely. Thank you so much for your call. I'll call you right after the show.
Okay, down to less than a minute, Andre.
Less than a minute, man. It's hard to talk a lot in less than a minute, but yeah. I would say anybody that's on the market to sell their house right now is still a premium time to sell. Kids are going back to school next month, so there's still a lot of parents that are trying to get them into that school system. So if you're looking to sell, looking for a proven system, highly encourage you to give us a call. We'd love to help you out. That's 888-785-0440, or just visit us on the web at andrebustamante.com. Check out some of the listings that we have on there. We have some new $2.25 million listings, $1 million listings, and all other price points. So check out the website, some new cool inventory there.
All right, we will see you next week again on the Andrey Bustamante Real Estate Show.